monologue is based on interviews by Eve Ensler from women on the Oglala Lakota Nation on the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota. Their stories reflect the daily challenges that Native women face, living in isolation and without resources. According to Amnesty International's report, Maze of Injustice, the average annual rate of rape and sexual assault among American Indian women is 2.5 times higher than that of all other races.
He wanted to go out. He said to me, "You stay home." I said, I wanted to go out. He said, "You have a baby." I said, "It's our baby." I laid the baby down. He could probably feel my tension because he was whimpering, the baby. I looked up, and he hit me. My husband. Not a blast that knocks your eyes blue. That came later. It was a smack, a hard, domestic smack. He looked at me, and he was smiling. I couldn't believe it. He was smiling. He slapped me again. His dad was vicious to his mother. I saw him smile. What was that? He was the nicest man. He had long, black hair. Combing his hair when we made love, it got loose before. He took me to the dinner, made me go out with his boss. I didn't want to go. He kicked me under the table, told me to look happy, told me to smile. I smiled. He kicked me again, asked me who I was trying to fuck, asked me to stop coming on to everyone. I stopped smiling. He kicked me again. This went on and on. Outside the restaurant, he grabbed my hair and pulled me down to the curb. It had been snowing. He buried me in the snow. He pounded me in the gutter. The snow was melting. It was sloppy and mud. My hair felt like it was bleeding. I ran too.
He was drinking. I was too. I must have blacked out. I woke up in the hospital after 5 brain surgeries. My hair was gone. They shaved it off. I had to relearn how to talk and to move my arms. It took me 4 months to remember how to cook breakfast. I remember putting the egg in the frying pan with the bacon. I just didn't remember to crack the egg open. Just the egg and the frying pan and its shell. My head was bald.
After 18 years, he beat me in the morning when he was so nice again. I would braid his long hair. I would take my time, like I cared so much, and I would do it perfectly crooked. I would make the hairs so it would stand up all crazy-like. Then, he'd go forgetting that the bruises on my face were his handprints. He'd walk all cocky in the street, all macho in the road, but his braid was so crooked and looked so stupid and wrong. It shouldn't have made me that happy. It really just shouldn't have made me that happy.
Heard he was out with a woman, making love, and she was fluffing his hair while he was wild on top of her. He came home much later, and his hair was all braided up right and tight. He passed out from drinking, and I got up with scissors as he snored and cut the braid off, right off, and put it in his hand, so that when he woke up, he screamed, "What the fuck, I'm going to kill you." He jumped up, but I had tied his shoes together, so he couldn't run. I didn't go back to him for 3 years, until I knew his hair had grown out again.
I didn't want to have sex with him. He was drunk. I was just a piece of meat to him, a big hole. I tried to pretend I was asleep. He elbowed me, jerked me, pulled me up. I remember thinking, just get it over with. He was soft and kept pumping and pumping until I got sore. I said it didn't feel good. He said, who are you with? Was he bigger than me? Did you like it? You're like a mouse with a lion. You have to move fast to the door. I could hear my son screaming. His mouth was open, and his tonsils. I could see his tonsils. My husband beat the shit out of me, wrapped my long black hair around his hand, jerked my head. I tried to get my son. That's not your son, he said, holding my hair in his hand. It's not your son anymore. Now he calls me, middle of the night, weeping. He didn't mean to beat his wife. He didn't mean to batter her. He's suicidal. He knows what his mother went through. But I cannot stop him, my son. They took our land, they took our ways, they took our men. We want them back.